Mike, tell me, we got to ask you. I was there at South by Southwest when you punctured a lung. And
Yeah.
is not the first of your long list of injuries. So
yeah, but probably the worst.
Probably the worst. And the cool thing is, people should know this. What I thought was amazing was that I don't know how the word went out, but your fans basically rallied up the money
Yeah.
and paid for your medical bills, either
Yeah,
all
it was
of it or most
amazing.
of it or whatever. But it was
Yeah.
an incredible outpouring of support
Yeah.
to help take care of you after that injury.
Yeah, it definitely saved my financial life for sure.
Yeah. So
I don't know what I'd be doing if that hadn't happened.
So for people that haven't seen you, I mean, you're known for swinging from the rafters. You run across the bar. You stand on tabletops. You're very physical, and you've, because of it, you've had a number of injuries. I was curious to know, have you ever when you're touring? Do you ever walk into a venue for the first time and kind of scout it during sound check, going, okay, what can I climb on here? Because around your hometown venues, you're familiar with the place, but do you ever walk into a place in a strange city and go, okay, how am I going to put on a show tonight? What's there to hang off of or climb on?
I think I used to a lot more. Now I'm not. I mean, I still get physical when I'm feeling it. There's never. I mean, the main thing is, like, I never really planned anything out. It was always just kind of like, I'm feeling. I see a thing, I'm gonna do it. I feel like it, and I never really, which is probably explains a lot of the injury stuff, because I never really had any kind of a plan or any, there's with any of that stuff, I never was like, I'm gonna do this on this. I mean, sometimes I'll be like, maybe I'll go out with Bloody May. Like, a lot of times I like to go out into the crowd and kind of, because it's so ballady, it's fun to kind of go out in there and do that. But for any of that other stuff, like jumping on speakers or jumping off stuff, there's not usually much of like and on this cue, we do this. It's just something that I was feeling or not feeling at the time. So, I mean, I'll notice how tall, and definitely now I'll notice, like, yeah, this is a real fucking tall stage now. But, and that'll enter my mind a little bit more, but I never like made plans of like song 4. It's off of the amp or whatever or anything like that.
Choreography.
Yeah, that didn't. Yeah, I don't have
no
story coming out. Yeah.
Tell me, guys, what do you think I could get for this on eBay?
Oh.
For those who are listening and not watching, I'm holding up. This is the very first thing you ever released, isn't it?
Yes, it might cost you more to ship it than you'll get for it on eBay.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a 45 of Jenna is a No-Show and
Mean Motor Machine.
Mean Motor
right?
Machine, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
And I gotta say,
98-ish, 99, 98, 99, somewhere around there.
Somewhere in there, yeah. And I remember the first time I saw you guys, I walked into Beerland and you were already on stage, and I saw you and my mind was blown, and I was like, who are these guys? And you were still living in Denton at the time. And somebody told me they're a band from Denton. They're called the Riverboat Gamblers. And so I made a point to come see you every time you were back in town. And then when you moved to town, I'm like, all right, they're local now. They're going to be playing all the time. And I went out to every gig I could, and I still do. So speaking of gigs, any plans to celebrate the reissue of Something to Crow About? Are we playing this in its entirety? Or are you playing some shows at least so people can come out and buy it at the merch booth? What's next?
October 14th in Austin at Hotel Vegas. I don't know if we should announce that yet, but whatever. Well, I just said it. So
this episode won't air for a little while, so you're
out before then.
Fine.
Right.
No one's gonna sue us.
Yeah, we're doing a string of shows. Yeah, 14th, October 14th, and we're working on quite a few other ones. For out of town, out of state. But yeah, the idea is to do crow shows. Yeah.
So where can people buy the album in the meantime if they can't make it to one of your gigs to buy it off the merch stand? Where can they get it online?
Gamblers. Is it Gamblers Forever, forevergamblers.com?
Just our website, or you mean like the merch?
Yeah, our website. Yeah, riverboatgamblers.com.
No, did we get a new one? Because last time it was just the riverboatgamblers.com. professional band
That's
at
it,
work.
yeah.
Hang on. It's the
That's it, riverboatgamblers.com. But if you go to Gamblers Forever Gamblers, it'll take you to the merch store. But you can get to the merch store through the thing. We're not good at this, clearly. We didn't get into this for business.
I got
Well,
it.
people, at the
I
very
wanted
least,
to go
people
get
can.
it. I know how to get it. You did great.
Yeah.
At the very least, people can follow your social media stuff, and
Yeah.
you're posting and promoting
Oh,
it.
totally.
There,
So the
Totally.
label that reissued this, that put it out, do they have like a Bandcamp, or do they have a merch store that people can also get it through, or is it specifically band site?
It's banned. We put it out ourselves.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
We got help with a group called Cobra Side, helped us put it all together.
Yeah, Ian mentioned that, and that sounds like a good move just to help get it up and out.
Yeah. We're not businessmen.
Well,
Let me ask you guys this: when you go to shows and there's bands doing a record, because this is the thing I'm always thinking about. Do you want to hear a record from front to back in order, or do you like it if it's split up within a set? If we play all the songs, but it's within a set.
For me, I think part of here's the journalism in me using a word I just made up. The specialness of playing an album in its entirety is hearing it in sequence from start to finish.
Sequence from start to finish.
I'd be happy the other way. Don't get me wrong, but if I had my preference, I would want to hear the album in its entirety and then close the show with a sprinkle in some other stuff.
I might be a little too close to the question, because I was going to say the opposite. That it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think too, I'll say this specifically about something to crow about. There's a reason that's one of my favorite records, and it is because of the sequencing of it. The flow of that thing is such a good time. I would hate for it to be interrupted, even though if it's interrupted by another Gambler song, it's going to be another great song.
Yeah.
If you were telling me that you were going to play that album in its entirety, my preference would be to hear it from start to finish.
That sounds like a good piece of candy for a fan that's been, following you guys around for so long and had, was into that when it came out. That have this new upgraded issue. That would be fun. I get it. I get that.
Yeah. Well, something to crow about 20th anniversary reissue on vinyl. You can find it online. Just look up riverboatgamblers.com or find the Riverboat Gamblers on social media and look for they're promoting it there, and some shows, some shows coming up in October. You can look for that album at the band's merch booth. I'm stoked that it's being reissued. What a treat. When I heard that thing was coming out, I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this for a long, long time, because it's a great album. You're one of my favorite bands. I've said it to Jason, and I've said it to anyone who listened. You're the best live band on the planet, and I mean that with all due respect to all my other friends that are in bands. So go see him, go buy the album.